All right, guys. So today I want to talk about censorship in the arts. I wanted to just walk through you real quick through some artwork that has brought up a lot of issues in censorship throughout time. And let's get right into it. First off, let's start off with the Sistine Chapel by Michelangelo in Italy. One thing, if you look at it, he created the Last Judgment. When it first was made, it caused a lot of controversy. For, if you look very closely, there were naked people. How dare he? This was brought on by the Catholic Church as unholy and immoral. If we move on to about 1865, we have Manet's Olympia, a beautiful naturalistic portrait of a nude female. However, this was considered so vulgar, all because of the face that she had on. And it was pretty much she's just looking straight forward towards the audience, and this was not normal for back then. Move on a little bit further into 1866, just 1 year later. Corbett's The Origin of the World, a very realistic and naturalistic image of a woman's vulva. This image was so controversial, it's been hidden for a very long time. And in 2011, it was banned from Facebook. It was blocked. Facebook is still going through a lawsuit of should this be censored? It is art and it is not porn, which is a lot of the issues that is going on with censorship in the arts. Is it pornography or is it artwork? It's a big argument that people are still going on and still trying to describe where that thin line really is. We'll move on a couple of years to 1987. But before we jump in that time, I want to talk about the National Endowment of the Arts. The National Endowment of the Arts was established in 1965. It's a government organization that helps organize artwork, art shows. It helps fund artists for their projects and everything. It's pretty much an organization that helps Americans collaborate and be part and participate in the arts throughout the United States. So a lot of artists will ask for grants and apply for grants, and when they're accomplished, they can work for as much time as they have to make their projects and stuff like that. This is what pays for artist studios. This pays for the assistants, for the equipment and material and all that stuff. It's also what pays for museum tours or gallery shows and all these different things. We'll keep that in mind. So in 1987, Serrano came out with what was called the Piss Christ. He grabbed a plastic crucifix and put it into a cup of his own urine. As you can see, very blasphemistic. People were not very happy about this, and it moved on from there. It, however, was considered to be such a dishonor towards the Lord, and that's a quote from Jesse Helms, who was a senator at the time. He'll come up in the next topic. He thought it was such a horrible thing that he did everything possible to get that piece of work to be destroyed. In 2011, a group of protesters actually attacked the photograph and smashed the glass. However, the photograph itself, still pretty fine. 2 years later, Robert Mapplethorpe came out. He was criticized so much for his work in the BDSM world and in just the underground sex world. One of his last shows, you can call his swan song, was called The Perfect Moment. It was a combination of what he thought was called the XYZ series. Beautiful images of floral designs, beautiful images of interracial men, and beautiful images of the BDSM world that he was part of. Great images and stuff like that. However, this show was paid for by the National Endowment of the Arts. So a lot of people were very confused as to why they went to go see a show that had flowers and a man's fist up his anus, for lack of better words. Well, this brought a lot of conversation like, well, should the government be paying for this? Should taxpayers have a say in where their money goes? Should taxpayers even be paying for the arts? These are a lot of questions that people are still asking and are still not being fully answered. And one of the things as us as artists and as our educators, we really need to think about. Do we need to teach our students that we need to censor our own work, or do we need to teach our students that yes, art will offend someone and you'll never be fully accepted by everyone? Sometimes you have to really think about, well, maybe I'm going to insult someone's religion. Is that an issue? Is that not an issue? Maybe someone will not see, this image how I see it as beauty, but maybe it's pornographic. Is that an issue or not? And I believe that one of the biggest things we have to think about is, well, censorship goes so far. If you want to grab a piece of artwork and block it from children's eyes, And that's an important thing. Robert Mapplethorpe's last show, The Perfect Moment, all the photographs were placed at such a height that children would not be able to see it. You had to be at a certain age and a certain height to actually see those images. It moves on from there, like, well, okay, we live in 2016. If someone wants to see something, all they have to do is just get on the internet, go on Google, and just type in a word.